Have you ever wondered what you would do if your husband was cheating on you with your own mother? This is Grace's story. Grace believed she had the perfect life. She was married to Franklin, the man of her dreams. But life had a terrible surprise waiting for her. Grace met Franklin on an ordinary day at a fast food restaurant where fate had other plans. After a brief mix-up about their orders, they laughed and started talking, exchanging phone numbers. From that day, they became inseparable. Franklin was charming and made Grace feel special. 7 months later, he proposed. Grace was overjoyed and said yes without hesitation. The only sadness was knowing her father wasn't there to see her happiest moment. Their wedding was magical, filled with love, family, and friends. Grace believed she had married her soulmate. Not long after the wedding, Grace's mother began visiting their home more often. At first, Grace thought it was normal. But her mother's visits started to feel strange. She would stay for days and weeks, acting as if she lived there. Every morning, Grace left for work, leaving Franklin and her mother alone. She trusted her husband, but felt uneasy. Grace returned home after work to find her mother's nightgown on her marital bed. Confused, she called her mother. Her mother laughed it off, saying Franklin must have taken it by mistake. But Grace's instincts told her something was wrong. Over the next few months, Franklin changed. He was distant and secretive, no longer the loving husband Grace once knew. One day, while Franklin was in the shower, Grace discovered condoms in his wallet. Her heart sank. They had never used them. Grace kept her fears to herself, uncertain of what was happening in her marriage. Everything felt increasingly strange. One night, at dinner with Franklin and her mother, a woman approached their table and greeted Grace's mother warmly. "They've been meeting here for months," Lillian said. Grace couldn't breathe. Her chest felt like it was caving in. When Grace got home, Franklin greeted her with a smile, acting like everything was normal. But Grace masked her pain. The next morning, preparing for church, Grace said to Franklin, "When I get back, I want to know why you're cheating on me with my mother." Franklin's face went pale, and he couldn't speak. At church, Grace ignored her mother's repeated calls. Returning home, Franklin had cleaned and made lunch. Grace was done pretending. She asked, "Are you going to answer my question?" Franklin broke down and confessed. The affair with Grace's mother had started years ago when he was her student. He confessed that the affair with Grace's mother started years ago when he was her student. After Grace's father died, her mother had taken advantage of him. When Franklin met Grace, he tried to end the relationship, but Grace's mother wouldn't let go. Even after they got married, she kept pulling him back. As Franklin spoke, Grace's mother walked in. Grace exploded with anger. "How could you do this to me? You're my mother!" she screamed. Her mother apologized but offered no real explanation. Grace looked at both of them and said, "I forgive you, but I can't stay here. I'm leaving tomorrow." The next morning, Grace packed her belongings. Though her heart was shattered, she knew she deserved better and moved to a new city. Grace's story is a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable pain, you can find the strength to move on.